Leo, I am going to hook you up, guys. I am going to hook you up. Now, I know you're wondering, what is this girl hiding? Or what is this girl trying to teach us today? Now, I'm going to teach you how I use Anki to perform better in class. Yes, and to memorize cases, and to memorize statutes, and to memorize everything that I am taught at school. So this is how I use Anki. Now I'm going to take you through the web tutorial, and I'm going to take you through the phone tutorial. This is going to be a fun video. If you've not already liked or subscribed, I suggest you do that. Now, let me start with the advantages of Anki and tell you guys what Anki is for those who do not know. Anki is a flashcard app. It can be found on iOS or Android. Now, why I love this app with everything that I have. First of all, the one thing that I love, it's free. It's free for everyone to use. This app is magnificent, and the fact that it's free just blows my mind. The second thing, it can be used offline. So you don't need Wi-Fi, you don't need data after downloading it. Yes, that you can use the night feature or the dark feature, and I like the dark feature so much, so that is a plus to the app. The fourth advantage of this app is you can share your flashcards with your classmates and your friends. Guys, if this is not the most interesting educational app you've ever seen, I don't know what will be. So let me take you through the app via my phone, and then I will take you through it on my computer to see how it works and how you can install it. Okay, so this is Anki on my phone. This is the app. I'm going to open it. As you can see, there are a couple of decks. There's the civil, commercial, conveyancing, the criminal, LPM, probate, professional ethics, and the filtered desk and the custom study session. Now, what this does is gives me the question. You can see I have 66 cards due today in 48 minutes. So let's try a unit like, let's say commercial, okay? Okay, so this is what it does. It asks me a question. So what is due diligence? So I put in this question when I was learning about companies and acquisition, all those things. So what is due diligence? And then I think of an answer. I'm like, what is due diligence? This is what a company conducts in order to know if the two companies when they merger, they're a good fit, if the synergies are okay, and if I don't know the answer. As you can see, I am stammering. So let me show the answer. I click on show answer, and it says the process through which an acquiring company seeks to uncover the assets and risks and opportunities of the proposed company transaction. Now you can see that I did not know the answer, and now it's giving me the option. If I knew it, I'd say I want to see this card again in like 1 day, but then I didn't know it, so I will say give me the card again in 10 minutes. Okay, so it takes me to the next question. What's needed while applying for a company PIN? In this case, I know the answer. So the answer is when applying for a company PIN, you need the certificate of incorporation. You also need the director's PIN. You also need the director's identification, and so on and so forth. So show answer. Certificate of incorporation, copy of memorandum of the company, articles of association, copy of KRA of the directors, copy of the KRA compliance certificate of the directors. The system will then generate an acknowledgement receipt and email with instructions on verification. So I was on a good place on this note, so I will take the maybe 21 days card. So after 21 days is when I will see this card. Okay, I already have Anki Web on most of the things that I search, so it's already set up, but I'm going to do that for you right now. Let us search for one. Anki Web. Okay, so there's the about login, and let's go to the login. And I already have an account, so automatically it's taking me there. But it's so simple to set up. You just enter your email address and your preferred password, and there you have it. Okay, now you already see that I already have so many decks. I've not been to Anki in like 3 days, purposely for this video, so that you know how many decks I have right now. So I have the decks are the units or the subjects that you want to cover. So over here I have civil, commercial, conveyancing, criminal, and creating a deck is too easy. I will show you that if you want a more detailed video. You just click plus and then the deck is formed. Okay, so in civil I have 23 things that I have to cover, commercial 3, 6, and all that. Now I have not been reading a lot of probates and criminal litigation and conveyancing. I've been focusing on civil. I wonder why I have so many cards over there. But let's look at a professional ethics question. I'm sure I won't remember most of the things here. So let's look at professional ethics. And the question is disciplining of advocates by court. So the card is asking me how or which statutes or how does the court discipline advocates when they mess up in courts. And then when I think of this, I think of the Advocates Act, and I remember in class the lecturer saying that while the Advocates Act provides for a tribunal for the disciplining of advocates, when a misconduct happens in court, especially in high court, the judge has the right to discipline the advocate by holding him in contempt. Now, I do not remember if it's section 11 or 17, I am not sure. So I show answer. Okay, so actually it's section 56 of the Advocates Act. It states that the court has the jurisdiction to deal with any misconduct conducted during or in the course of relating to proceedings before any judge, magistrates court. Magistrate courts do not, before any judge, and then magistrate courts do not have the power of contempt. Now, you already see that I knew the context but not the statute. So over here I have 10 minutes hard, 10 minutes again, so that means it will pop up after 10 minutes, or 4 days hard, meaning it will pop up after 4 days because it was hard, or if it was good, it will pop up after 10 days. If it was easy, after 16 days. The days change according to the amount of cards you have on Anki. So for me, I'm just going to say it was a bit good because I already knew the content. And then I go to the next question. It automatically moves you to the next question. Okay, what should an advocate do when a client intends to give false testimony in court? And now I remember the facts, but not the cases in the statutes again. Now, what should an advocate do when a client intends to give false testimony in court? The advocate ought to advise the client not to give false testimony in court and give him the consequences of doing that. That is, if the prosecution gets a wind of this, they're going to add more charges to your sheet and any other consequences that is there. If the client still chooses to continue with the statement, even though you've warned him, you ought to recuse yourself. And if your recusal does not make the client stop to give the false testimony, then you ought to notify the prosecution and tell them the truth. Now, when you in the third step, I also remember that when you recuse yourself, you have to do that with a lot of noise by taking back everything that you did on behalf of the client towards the court. So you have to retract every document you drafted and everything that you said to the court. By you doing this, the prosecution is given a clue that there's something wrong with the statement of the client. Now, if the prosecution does not get the clue, that is when you will have to notify them, because you have a responsibility to not lie to the court. Even though you have a responsibility to your client, the responsibility to the court is much higher. Now, let us see if my answer is correct. Okay. The first thing is discourages the client from giving false testimony. That is, remind them of the consequences of lying to the court. More charges added to their cases by the prosecution. If he agrees to withdraw his offer to testify, the case starts afresh. 2, if they choose to proceed, the advocate should withdraw. Refuse to assist. This is because you as an advocate, you have to refuse to assist clients to commit crimes. Number 3, have a noisy withdrawal by giving a notice of withdrawal and the affirming any opinion or document previously given. This is to ensure that you are deassociated from the case. Number 4, the withdrawal will give the prosecution a hint that the testimony of your client is tainted without disclose of confidential information, because you cannot disclose this information. And then number 5, if the withdrawal doesn't change anything, one has to tell the prosecution the truth. This duty arises from the duty of the advocate to see to it that an injustice is not done. Now you can see I had a pretty good idea of what this question asked. So do I want to see 10 minutes after this? No. Was it hard? No. Was it good? Yes. Was it easy for me? Yes. So yeah, I will see this card again in 16 days. So basically that is how Anki works. Now I've already said it's easy. It takes me to the next question, an advocate's duty to the court, and I don't want to go into this again. Now, that is the way Anki Web works. Now, let me take you back to the decks. Just leave. Each time you do a question or a card, it's updated that you've already done it. Now, I have left without updating the changes, so it still sticks. If I had updated, it would have gone back to a small number. Now let's go to a unit like LPM, where I am so sure I do not know a lot of things. What are the advantages of having a good record management system? When a company or an association has a good record management system, first of all, they are complying with the legal requirement. If it's a legal requirement to have a good record management system, it also boosts productivity, and it also helps in retrieval of materials. That is all I can remember for now. Show answer. Improves accessibility to information, increased productivity, security, proper preservation of information, improved accountability, observance of legal obligation. So you can really see I knew some of things, but then I did not know all of them. And then I have the option to see this again in 1 minute, or see it again after 1 day, or after 4 days. Now I want to master this card properly, so I'm going to see this after I want to see this after 1 day. I click good, and then the principles of a good record management system. The thing goes on and on and on. Now I have already seen that it's not that hard to use. Progression over perfection. Not every card you're going to do, you're going to be so good at it. Let me just say that. Every card that you go through, you're not going to get everything. You've already seen through most of the cards that I've shown you, especially via my phone, that I didn't remember some of the things in commercial. And that's okay, because the more I go through it, the more I get to remember. You have seen in LPM that I remembered most of the things, and in professional ethics, that's because I have read those cards over and over and over. I'm planning to do the same on all the other units. So progression over perfection. You don't have to get every card right when you read it. So the more you do it, the more you get it. It's the main concept of active recall, and I pray that you be patient with yourself. You don't have to get everything at the same time when you read it. Now, if you've watched this video up to this point and you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button, you're letting me down. You are disappointing me. Come on, just like the video, share the video with anyone you feel like might need it, and then please subscribe to my channel. I want to get to 100 subscribers, and I cannot do that without you guys. And please forgive me for my editing. I am going to do better. I am going to put in the work and try to improve. And at this time, it's a learning curve for me, but I am going to improve. Okay, bye now.